I really don't know any other way to spend a Friday that can make me so excited than to be here with Richard. And he left us. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, I am here and I am being joined by Richard today. If he doesn't get kicked off the connection again, today we're just going to have a little chat, tell everybody what's been going on. It's been such a busy week. Richard, say hello to our audience. Thank you for being here with me.
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Hope you have some good plans for the weekend. We got through the week.
Oh, wow. We sure did. And the concert? The concert! Oh, my God. Like, we finally got through it. I'm so glad.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Wasn't it, though? We had a great lineup. We
We
had
did.
such a good, diverse lineup with so many great performances, deeply thought out letters from the people that we've helped in the past in the global south and around the world.
Mhm.
What are some of the key points that you got out of it, Richard?
Well, I feel bad, but I can't remember her name. But there was a young woman who sang a cappella, and it was so beautifully done. It gave me goosebumps. And it just reminded me that, and we had this discussion last night at our board meeting, that we really have to be more aware of what so many people in our different communities are experiencing. Our communities are worldwide. You know, we're a lot of us are getting ready for Pride, and we're taking a lot of things for granted. And there are individuals and organizations where they can't even meet publicly, let alone hold a Pride. So it's just a reminder of the importance of that concert. Yeah, we're going to have fun. We're going to have a good time. We're going to listen to some incredibly gifted artists. But at the same time, we have to remember what was the point of it in the first place. And that's to make sure that we are addressing the needs of our siblings who are around the world who have struggles that are unimaginable for us.
I absolutely agree with you, and that's that brings me to an interesting discussion that I've kind of been having with myself a little bit lately. I'm asking myself more and more lately, what more can I do? And
Mhm.
I'm getting, it's almost at times I get frustrated with myself because I'm like, what else could I possibly do with the limited amount of time and a limited amount of resources? I mean, time being the most important resource of all, but then I realized that it's the little things. It's the little things that really do make a big difference. Going out and volunteering for a couple hours, maybe once a month, that can make a big difference in the local community. Making some phone calls on behalf of an advocacy organization, that can make a difference so many ways if we all participate in doing it. And of course, donating is very important because we as an organization have to sustain ourselves, and we want to make sure that we're able to give more funding out to the global South. Richard, what do you
Mhm.
think are some of the things that when folks are feeling a little bit frustrated with themselves, they want to do more? What are some other things that you would like to potentially suggest to them?
Well, I always tell people two things: self-awareness, you know, recognizing that first of all that you can do more, and then to decide what it is that you can do. That's the education component. Go out and do some research about what these communities need, and then when you find out what they need, then then what you're in a position to provide. And as you mentioned, sometimes volunteering at a nonprofit. Goes a long way. You know, any of us who've served on nonprofit boards, we know every little thing, every little effort counts. Yes, great, get the checkbook out and write a check because we can always benefit from that. But having your presence there, seeing more and more straight allies who are participating in different pride organizations, that means a lot. And then when you go to some of the general annual general meetings like a enterprise annual general meeting or the different regional meetings like CAPI, then you're meeting people who have circumstances and situations that you may not have been aware of. Once you have that education, you'll be motivated in what to do. Finding out what they need and how you can facilitate that, you'll know what to do.
Yes, yes, I fully agree with you on that. And something that's going on right now as an organization is that the early membership dues discount is quickly coming to an end. It's going to be March 31st. So,
Mhm.
Richard, why would folks want to renew their membership or as Pride organizers become a member? You're the vice president of accessibility, diversity, and inclusion. I hope I did that in the right order. And if I didn't, I'm sorry. But
Yes.
what are some of the reasons why folks would want to become members or continue to sustain their membership with us?
Well, despite how we feel, and most of us have felt this way at some point, we're actually not in this alone, and being a part of these different organizations and helps us to recognize that we're not in it alone. When I think about people who complain about not having a voice, this is one of the ways to get your voice out there. People who feel like their communities are not represented. Well, this is another way to make sure that happens. Make sure you have a seat at the table to make sure that the needs of your specific community are being addressed, and making sure you're aware of the issues that other communities are facing, communities that differ from yours in different countries, those kind of things. When you come together and we see what everybody is dealing with and what we can do when the old saying that is strength in numbers, what we can do when we come together, it's nothing short of miraculous. It is nothing short of miraculous. Imagine right now, specifically, individuals in Ukraine, our LGBT partners there. Imagine how it feels to deal with everything they're dealing with and know that there's community that's supporting them, that they are on our minds, and we're trying to figure out what we can do to help them. That's what these organizations like InterPride, like regional conferences like Happy, like USAP, Fierté Canada, IPOA, NERP. These organizations bring us all together and educate us, brings us together and provides solidarity, informs us, and then puts us in a position that we can be helpful to one another. That's why it's important to join.
Yes, yes. And of course, as a global nonprofit organization, we are continuously trying to find new avenues to support our members and to support the global community as a whole. We're very excited that we're going to be hosting the first World Conference, annual general meeting and World Conference in Guadalajara this year. It's going to be first time in Latin America. Isn't that exciting?
It is exciting, and I am definitely looking forward to this.
Very much so. And a nice little trip to Mexico is always good.
Always.
I mean, of course, right?
Well, if you gotta go to a conference,
Might as well be in Mexico. I mean, let's face it. And then Puerto Vallarta after. Come on, we got to skedaddle over there for a couple days after, right?
Definitely.
So we do have a webinar coming up on Sunday. Tell everybody about it.
Yes, we have a webinar that is part of our Rainbow Racism series. And the Rainbow Racism series helps us to address racism and biases and inequities that take place within our own queer spaces. So it helps us to address these so that we're better prepared to deal with it in the larger community. We have one coming up on the joys and the challenges of interracial relationships. Those of us who are in interracial relationships, we know what this feels like. We know what we're talking about. We know the experiences. We know that unfortunately, some of the challenges that we face comes from within our own community. So hopefully this brings about some awareness, like seeing, maybe we would say some of the insensitive and racially insensitive things that we've been saying. If you're in a relationship with someone who's white and they're educated or make a good living, and they're with someone who maybe didn't receive the same education or doesn't make as much money, oftentimes we'll hear, oh, well, they're in it for the money, or they're in it for other reasons other than this is the person you fell in love with and wanted to share your life with. With everything we have to deal with outside of our community, why would we ever subject any of us to something like that? So we're going to hear from my husband, who's white, your partner, who's Latino, and we're going to hear from an individual who's Black, who's also a scientist and owns his own cybersecurity firm. And they're going to talk about their challenges and their joys in being in an interracial relationship. So I'm looking forward to it, listening like a fly on the wall. What can I learn that I didn't already know? And I think this is going to benefit a lot of people, just this awareness of what we often do to one another.
Yes, and I can't wait. I'm looking forward to a very robust A very exciting discussion on Sunday. We've got some other ones that we're planning on as well. So I know, Richard, we're working on a couple of other ones that you've been doing a great job facilitating them, putting them together, and getting us ready to continue ramping up the Racism and Oppression Awareness Program, ROPE, for sure. If anybody has any suggestions or wants to participate in the panel discussion, please, info@interpride.org. Just reach out and let us know. And we would love to entertain any and all suggestions that fall within the parameters of the program. And before we wrap up, Richard, do you have anything fun planned this weekend?
Yeah. So what some people don't know is that even though I live in New Mexico, I am part of a pride in El Paso, Texas. And what I like to tell people is that El Paso is nothing like the rest of Texas, not putting Texas down, but El Paso feels like it's more aligned with New Mexico. You know, we have a similar culture there. So I'm going to spend some time with our board members. We had a board meeting last night. We're going to have a pool party tomorrow. I know some people are thinking pool party, it's still winter. Well, it's warm down here. It's already in the 80s, going to be in the 90s soon. So yeah, time to dust off those Speedos and get ready to sit around the pool with a margarita, with a Mai Tai, a beer, wine, and just relax, you know, so that we can be prepared to deal with the challenges of next week. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yes, and I can't wait for us to get to next week. We have all kinds of fun things planned. Always something new happening here at InterPride. We're dropping a new podcast soon, so make sure you be on the lookout for it. And in the meantime, folks, please stay safe out there. I just got over COVID, so even if you're triple vaccinated, you could still get it. I'm encouraging everybody to please be. I let my guard down. It's the facts. I let my guard down. I stopped wearing a mask. I thought it was all okay, you know, hunky dory, and look what happened. I was down for about 4 days. So we got to be careful. We're not out of the woods yet, and this is just a good example of it. So until next week, we'll have a little bit more chat, and I hope to bring Richard back on soon. Of course, we love hanging out on Zooms and whatever else we do.
When the technology works.
Yes, when it works, just when it works. Oh my God, we need it to work more often, right?
Absolutely.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you for tuning in. We will be in touch until next time.